Under a moonlit sky pulsing with wailing sirens and the soft murmur of late-night traffic, the city seemed to hum with endless life. Dr. Marcus, fresh off a grueling 12-hour shift at a bustling local hospital, craved nothing more than a warm shower and a quiet bed. Yet, as he stepped outside, destiny was already penning an unexpected chapter that would soon grip every onlooker's heart. What twist of fate awaited him this night? Just as Marcus savored the cool night air, a harsh scent of burning rubber and the grating screech of twisting metal shattered his moment of respite. He whirled around to behold an unruly SUV, its tires wailing as it careened wildly across an intersection before colliding violently with a street lamp. Thick, swirling smoke billowed from the wrecked car as a ripple of stunned whispers spread among the gathered crowd. Could this disaster hide a miracle? Without a second thought, Marcus dashed toward the mangled vehicle, his heart drumming in his ears. At the driver's side, he discovered a young woman slumped over the wheel, her blonde hair matted with a stark trickle of blood from a cut on her forehead. In that heartbeat, someone's cry for help cut through the chaos. As Marcus checked for a pulse, faint yet present, the air grew heavy with the acrid stench of gasoline mixed with burnt rubber. "Get her out now," he roared, his voice carrying urgency while the bystanders hesitated, their eyes filled with fear. How long could they afford to wait? Time was a luxury he didn't have. With firm resolve, Marcus snapped the seatbelt open and gently lifted the fragile woman from the wreckage. No sooner had he carried her a safe distance away than the ruined car burst into flames, releasing a fierce surge of heat into the cool night. The onlookers gasped in unison, their murmurs rising like the crackle of the fire. And yet, amid the rising inferno, his focus never wavered from her fragile form. What danger might the flames hold next? In mere minutes, a hulking ambulance roared into view, its sirens slicing through the night's tense silence. Paramedics rushed over, but Marcus held fast, declaring, "I'm taking her with me." With every step he climbed into that vehicle, it was clear that he wasn't merely a rescuer, he was her strongest hope against the odds. Inside the bustling emergency room, the clock ticked as a 3-hour surgery began, revealing that the injured woman, identified as Sarah Coleman, suffered from internal bleeding and a fractured rib. Despite his best efforts to stabilize her, the next battle was hers alone to fight. Would hope be enough? At dawn, when the harsh glare of hospital lights forced her eyes open, Sarah slowly came to. As she blinked away the confusion, she found Marcus standing by her bedside, clipboard in hand and a calm, unreadable look on his face. "You're awake," he said gently, relief softening his tone. "The accident was severe, but you'll make it through." In that quiet moment, her heart fluttered with both gratitude and an unexpected jolt of disbelief. What stirred beneath that shock? Her eyes widened as she took in his dark complexion and steady, confident stance. Words failed her at first until, in a hushed murmur, she finally admitted, "You're a black doctor." Marcus's eyebrow arched slightly as he replied simply, "Yes, I am." With that revelation, Sarah turned to gaze out the window, and an uneasy silence descended over the room. The nurse standing nearby shifted nervously, as if waiting for a reaction. Was this simple truth about him about to upend everything? Marcus had encountered hesitation from patients before, those who doubted his skills as soon as they learned his skin was dark, but never quite like this. In a voice barely above a whisper, Sarah confessed, "I never thought someone like you could be my savior." The words cut sharply, yet Marcus remained unruffled. "Miss Coleman, I don't choose whom I help, I just do my job," he stated evenly before turning to leave, his heart heavy with the weight of unspoken judgments. What echoes would this moment leave behind? News of the accident and Sarah's startling remark swept through the hospital corridors like wildfire. Colleagues exchanged hushed whispers and doubtful glances, their voices carrying a chill that belied their polite tones. Even the cafeteria staff offered curt nods, and the kind-eyed janitor's smile was replaced by a mere, somber nod. Outside, the storm of public opinion was already gathering momentum. Would this story take a darker turn? Before long, a local reporter pounced on the tale. Flashing a headline that screamed, "Doctor of Color Saves Woman," her reaction shocks all, the media frenzy ignited instantly. Social networks buzzed with outrage, branding Sarah ungrateful and even racist, as her name trended for all the wrong reasons. The controversy swirled like a tempest. Could she face the backlash of a public judgment? One afternoon, a young reporter named Lisa entered Sarah's hospital room, microphone in hand. "Miss Coleman, do you regret how you reacted to Dr. Reed?" she asked, her tone both inquisitive and unyielding. Flushed with discomfort, Sarah stammered, I was in shock. I didn't mean it that way." But Lisa's questions hung in the air, echoing the public's harsh accusations. What answer could mend the mounting rift? Later that evening, as Sarah looked up, she saw Marcus standing just outside the doorway, not with anger, but with a deep disappointment that spoke volumes. Trembling, she stepped forward. "Dr. Reed," she began softly, pausing to steady her voice, "I'm sorry for my ignorance and for not thanking you properly. You saved my life." His eyes held hers for a long moment before he replied, "Your apology is heard, Miss Coleman. But respect isn't something earned after a deed, it should always be given." Could this truth be the seed for change? In the weeks that followed, Sarah found herself forced to confront her own biases. The anger of strangers online, the loss of clients and friends, all piled up as painful reminders of her missteps. Determined to set things right, she reached out to a community group dedicated to healing divides in healthcare. There, in humble discussions, she listened as doctors shared their struggles and, for the first time, truly understood the challenges they faced. Would these new insights light the path to redemption? Meanwhile, Marcus continued his work with quiet perseverance. He had long moved past that fateful night, focusing on caring for his patients with unwavering commitment. Yet when he later saw Sarah speak passionately at a hospital fundraiser about the deep-rooted gaps in medical care, he couldn't help but feel a spark of respect for her transformation. What future might unfold from this shared journey? Months later, once Sarah was discharged, she sought out Marcus with a handwritten letter clutched in her hands. "This is for you," she said, offering both thanks and a promise to do better. Marcus accepted the note with a measured nod and remarked, "Actions speak louder than words, keep proving it." With a sincere smile, she promised, "I will." For the first time, Marcus felt hope that change could truly begin. What new chapters would their lives write next?